how important is it if you're interested in getting a government contract, winning a government contract, to have a schedule as a vehicle option?
We advocate the program because you do want to be able to offer your federal customer an option, a choice. So open market procuring takes months and months and months, especially the larger the opportunity, the more in research and rules and regulations that have to be adhered to by the agencies. When they put that opportunity through a contract vehicle like the GSA schedule, the same opportunity and the time span comes from months to maybe a year down to maybe 2 or 3 months. Again, I think that's one of the greatest values that the schedule program can bring to a business is getting, one, providing your customer with an option, and two, getting business more readily.
And how important is it to share this information with veterans?
Well, certainly GSA as an agency themselves advocates and does a lot of business with small businesses. They meet their goals and exceed their goals year over year. They put a lot of small businesses and want small businesses on the GSA program. In 2011, I believe it was, they opened up the opportunity for their customer agencies to do small business set-asides, which allows then the customer agencies that they serve to put opportunities specific to small veteran disabled, women-owned businesses, and that was a very strong statement by GSA opening up the contract vehicles for usage and recognition to small businesses, especially, of course, veteran-owned. GSA works and collaborates with the VA extensively as well in recognizing our veteran industries.
One of the things that I heard you mention was like the disabled veteran as, as an option, as well as women-owned businesses, small business, all those, right? Mm-hmm. How do you guys work in tandem with the other options that are out there? How exactly does that work?
If an agency or an entity came to me and they wanted, for example, to obtain their disabled veteran-owned status, there is a program. They would work directly with the VA. There are businesses out there, I'm sure, that can foster them through those programs as well, because again, with everything, there's application processes, there's validation process. I do know to obtain the veteran disabled element and that criteria for socioeconomic, as with anything. And we could certainly recommend avenues for them to pursue. But I really would like, and my advice to a company is get those in line first before you pursue a schedule, because you really want to be able to put yourself out there as a small business, which is self-certification. That's easy. Right. But when you get into the veteran disabled, you're going to have to go through certain other steps. It's almost like an 8A program. If you are a disadvantaged socioeconomic entity, then you want that, and that's a program you go through Small Business Administration. And again, with the disabled veterans, you go through the VA.
Now, here's one of the things that we often hear about when it comes to a GSA schedule. Mm-hmm. The first thing is the time constraints. What is the recommendation or the requirement for getting on a schedule if you are starting a business?
I just actually had a conversation with someone from the General Services Administration not 10 minutes ago from the Office of Small Business Utilization. It's called the OSBU group. Every agency has an OSBU group. So she came over here and we were commenting on the fact that the schedules program still requires an entity to be in business for 2 years, and you have to have past performance. You have to be able to exemplify your expertise in any particular, what your industry is. I always tell my clients, if you did one thing 5 years ago, one time, that doesn't make you an expert. You have to do it continuously and to be able to exemplify you're really a qualified entity to do business with. There is some discussion, and I think for a lot of our small veteran-owned businesses, they just aren't meeting that 2-year stipulation of being in business, and it's something that I know GSA is reconsidering at this time. It'll be time, only time will tell whether they take the requirement out of the contract vehicle, but right now it's still a 2-year in business requirement. You still have to have sound experience and sound financial background.
The sound financial background, what does that look like?
It's a challenge for some of these small veteran-owned businesses, small businesses in general, to be able to qualify on the financial front. But there are ways to look at, to consider, other things to consider. You can work with the Small Business Administration, of course, to get what's called Certificate of Competencies, but all those things have to take time. And if you're willing to put in the time, and the energies to fill your applications and fill out those pieces and let them run through the process, then it could pay off quite extensively in the back end.